Joining me now, Dan Geltrude, founder of Geltrude & Company, and Seema Shah, senior global strategist at Principal Global Investors. Seema, let me start with you. It's sort of the great debate right now, particularly after Friday. There was a one point on Friday. You heard a lot of folks saying, let's go 100 basis points, but 75, 50, the market's been looking at least 175 basis points for the next three meetings, no matter what. How aggressive do you think the Fed should be on Wednesday?
Hey, well, I think for Wednesday, it's almost too soon to do a sudden pivot to 75 basis points. Sorry, this would be the first 75 basis point move since 1994. I think the Fed needs to give a little bit more guidance. So I think 50 basis point for this meeting is most likely, but they're probably going to start laying the groundwork for a potential 75 basis point move next month, providing that the CPI number continues to stay very, very strong.
Dan, of course, this is the same Jay Powell, though, who said 75 was off the table. Maybe that would play into his decision-making, although you hope it doesn't, right? An emergency isn't an emergency. I mean, if all of a sudden a theater is on fire, you wouldn't necessarily – that's when you would actually scream, hey, the theater's on fire. What are you looking for Wednesday?
Yeah, I think we're looking at 50 basis points, Charles, but there's no question about the fact they're going to have to go higher over time because nothing that the Fed is doing right now is having any impact on inflation. Now, of course, we should never have gotten to this situation. And even where we are now, because the White House is sitting back and saying to the Fed, you resolve this, the truth of the matter is bad economic policies have led us to this point. And if we're going to try to get out of this in any reasonable way, the White House must reverse course on some economic policies, specifically, Charles, on energy.
Seema, to that point, there's only, the Fed can only affect so much in our economy. Certainly, they don't operate shipping lines. They don't operate any drilling lines. Is too much expected of them, and could there be some relief from other areas?
Well, it's a really good question. I think that, the Fed has to do what it can, right? So it can impact demand, and obviously they have to probably push demand even further down in order to compensate for some of those energy price effects that they have no control over. I think over the coming months, we should start to see some relief. Right, we should see some of the supply chain issues normalizing, given that lockdowns are gradually being lifted in China. We should hopefully see oil prices, gas prices starting to settle down, at least settle down at some kind of level instead of continuing to increase. And then, of course, some of those base effects should see inflation come down. But they have a very, very difficult task ahead of them. So, as we were just hearing, they do need to be very aggressive. And they've been so far behind the game that it does mean that, unfortunately, they have made an even bigger job for themselves by being quite so slow.
Dan, let's talk about the market for a moment, because it really now is in one of those tailspins where you just, you throw out the charts, you throw out fundamental analysis. It's all a guessing game. And we're seeing earnings estimates come down. But when it's in a free fall like this, what do you tell folks who are saying, hey, my 401k is a 301k? And they're not joking. They're serious about that.
Yeah, they are serious about it because they can actually see it, Charles. You look at your statement and all it's doing is going down. You're putting more money away and you have less. So this is concerning. However, the other side of the coin here is that when the market is going down, and it may very well go lower, nobody's saying we've bottomed out yet, you stick to the fundamentals and you continue to invest into the market because still, what are your other options for long-term gains? It's in the market, so you have to kind of stay calm and stay the course.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier said than done. Seema, Dan, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.